Hey folks, hope you're doing good today. Hope you're having a good week so far. Now we've got an exclusive submission to do today, and it's a long-time friend of the channel come back round again. This guy's actually been with the channel pretty much since day one, and in a couple of weeks' time, at the start of March, it's already March already, can't believe it, it's going to be 4 years as well since we've been doing this channel, which is just insane. I can't believe it's been that long, but yeah, we started it in lockdown, and that was 4 years ago now, so there you go. Time absolutely flies. But as I say, we've been following with this guy all that time, and I've actually been doing stuff with this guy myself on the side. We did an EP together where he did some vocals for me on a couple of tracks, and it turned out exactly as I hoped it would. But today we've got another EP for him to listen to, and he said here he dropped this EP randomly at the end of January, and unfortunately it's due to a passing of a family friend. Now that's always sad to hear, and we've had a few people come through with that reason why they've written an album. But I always say to those people, music is a great memento for those, to kind of remember those people with, and to give them a kind of ode to as well. And as well, you can put all your emotions and your feelings through the music and have a release for yourself and everything. So if something bad happens to you, someone passes away, I always say with illness and stuff like that as well, music can be a savior and a way to release and express yourself and kind of get that stuff off your chest at that time. And I think music is a perfect outlet to do that through. So there you go. That's very, very cool. Now, he's not working with himself on this as he normally doesn't. Let me get this page up here. He's working with, the production is by, I'm not quite sure how to say the name. I'm going to say it's Epoxylin, something like that. But yeah, something like Epoxylin has done the music for him, and he's done all the lyrics and the vocals for it. But I was looking on his page here, and if you're into trap metal, kind of breakcore, and what we're going to be listening to today, but with a very heavy edge, stuff that you could rap over, stuff that you could scream over as well, and you're going to hear that today. He's got a few uploads on his page here that are all free. So if you're into that and looking for music to actually, rinse out over, here's a channel where you could get in touch with this guy, and he'll have some stuff for you to just get going. And then, if you like what he's doing, you could work together and make some new stuff, original stuff in the future. But I really like that. I used to do it with guitar pages as well, where you'd either get a drum beat you could play along the guitar to, or kind of drumless guitar stuff that you could play the drums along to as well. And I always thought that was dope. So for a vocalist as well, having just an empty track that you can rinse out and work out some lyrics to, and just practice basically, is really cool to have. So if you're into that stuff, head over to his page and subscribe and get to know him. I'll just quickly get as well his Bandcamp page up here, because I noticed he's got a lot of releases. So he's a busy guy as well, which is pretty cool. Very, very nice. The EP that we're going to listen to today is called Cavalier. As I say, it's 3 tracks, but it's about 8.5 minutes long. Let's get into it. I like how the bass drum cuts out everything from the music. Dope. I'm going to stop it there. Yeah. Man. I'm going to stop it there because I've got lots of good things to say about this one, particularly about the music. Man, really liked what was going on in the music here. If you put your ear to that, you'll realise that it was really different. And if you've done any mixing and music making yourself as well, and you know how to go about these things, you'll know that they've gone about this in a really different and kind of original, unique way. I really liked it. The thing that caught my attention the most about it was the way that the bass drum worked. And it's kind of a bass drum, at least, that bass kind of sound, that whoom sound that came through. Every time that came through, everything else in the music cut out. And then when it ended, it kind of faded back in with a quick fade, like boom. I really like that. It sounded dope. You wouldn't normally expect to cut everything out with the bass drum, you know, and then have it come back in. But it was nice, and it was almost like a pumping feel to it, you know, almost like a compression-y pump feel to it. But it was dope because of you got the punch from the kick coming through, and then the fade in, and then the kind of zzz, all the kind of electronic-y noise and atmospheric noise that was in there, all fading back in. I thought it was really, really nice. And then what I noticed as well, there's not actually a drum beat in this, and actually the bass drum sound was quite offbeat and wasn't just like 1-2 1-2 kind of stuff, or keeping a kind of 4-bar rhythm or anything like that. It was really random and different, but there was a beat all the way through. You could see I was nodding along with it the whole time. You could feel the rhythm, you could feel the pulse, but there was no drum beat in there, just this bass drum pumping and kind of punching through the mix. Really, really cool. You know, every band, every style of music has a drum beat to it to keep the rhythm, to keep the beat. And even if you don't use cymbals or anything like that, you always have a bass drum and a snare. You know, those are the staples of every kind of music. So to be able to make music without that and have a rhythm and a beat that's in there, but still be able to be offbeat as well. There's like a lot of different things going on there from a music making perspective. And I thought it was really, really dope. I was like, man, that's sick. To be able to pull that off. And I thought the music sounded great as well. It didn't, you know, it wasn't lacking for anything because of those reasons. It all came together nicely. It had a heavy sound. It was oppressive. It was dark and ambient as well at the same time. Went superb with the vocal, and I thought Patrick's vocal was really great on it. It had a darkness, had that nu metal edge that he brings into it, an emotional edge to it, you know, and knowing what the record's about as well, you know, that darkness and that sadness came in with that as well. So it just all pulled together really, really dope. But if you're a music maker, putting your ear to the production and the music that was there was really dope. There was, you know, it was a different style of composition, and it sounded great. Really came together nicely. Let's just rewind this a couple of seconds. Let's get into the next one. Man, these guys work together really, really nicely. The vibe that Patrick brings through his vocal and his style of, vocal and the way he sings is unique to him. I've spoke about it many, many times. If you want to hear me go into depth and wax lyrical about all of that stuff, there's lots of videos on this channel about me doing it. So I'm not going to do it too much today, but Patrick has got a very distinctive style. That's why I went to him with my music, because I wanted his style on my music, and that's what he did. And he's not a versatile vocalist, I wouldn't say, but he's got a very cool, distinctive style. And if you want that, you can get that from him in spades. And I think Apoxolin, that's how I'm going to say the name, has got that vibe in his music as well, and the two of them are just blending together super nice. That the vibes are going together, it just feels all right, just it feels like it's come to the two. It's like a jigsaw puzzle, and they've just come together just right, because they're both expressing the same vibe and kind of emotions and darkness, and it's all coming through in the music really nicely. I think these guys should work together a lot more in the future. Very, very cool. I'm really enjoying the music side of it as well. I think Apoxolin is a really great musician. I'm hearing lots of interesting ideas, stuff that you have to do to make happen in the mix and go out of your way to make happen, and cool little glitches and sounds and things like that. The use of the sounds, it's all really nice. It's all hitting the ears in the right way. And I know Gus as well, shout out to Gus, has mixed this and mastered it, and he's done a great job. The vocal sits in there super right, because it's buried back a bit. The music's more in front and kind of around the sides, and then Patrick's here in the front, but just sat back a bit, and that's a perfect spot for him. That's where I sat him as well. Let's go back a couple of seconds. This is the last one into, here we go. Take what's before me. Stop! feel totally different after listening to that last track than before it. That is a really sad track. I felt a pulling on my body the whole time, like a downward pull on my body the whole time I was listening to that, and I'm feeling all sad and kind of just down after that. That's an emotional song that hits you. Yeah, it really. I felt a physical force on my body from that song pulling me down and making me feel sad. Now, I'm not sure if that's what you wanted from that, but that's what happened, and that's the power of music, that it can affect you emotionally like that. And when you bear in mind, and I was bearing in mind the reason behind this album, yeah, that one definitely pulls on the emotional heartstrings, just with the vibe of it. And I think these guys have really, that's what they've done with this EP, nailed the vibe. And I think they were going for, or at least the vibe that comes across. And with that last one as well, being so powerful like that, I really, really felt that physically. Man, you've done a great job. Now, you know, someone passing, or for whatever sad reason there is to make music, it's a great reason to make music. And it can be a great memento, an ode to, just a way to get something off your chest, express yourself in a certain way. And music's one of the best ways to do that. And I think these guys have really nailed it with this one. It's something they can be proud of. It comes across authentic. It comes across with a solid vibe all the way through. It hits you. You get on board with it. It feels authentic all the way through. The vocals and the music come together, as I say, with the same type of vibe and gel together in such a nice way. It doesn't feel like, you know, someone's done the production and then someone's done the vocal over it. Feels very organic and gelled together all the way through. So these guys definitely need to keep working together, in my opinion, because they're coming from the same place, you know. And that's what you need to be doing as a band, which is great. So yeah, and as far as the music goes, I really, really enjoyed the music on this one. You know, if I was thinking, if you want to hear this kind of music, especially with this kind of music, this is the only place you're going to get it. We haven't come across it any other time in the 4 years that we've been doing this show. And we have had trap bands and electronic bands and, you know, this kind of stuff on. We have had it, but I don't think anyone comes close to what Patrick does with it. And now with Apoxlin as well, I think, you know, they've really kind of hit the nail on the head with it. So I'll be looking forward to hearing more out of these guys. Hopefully, you know, with a different reason for making the music. But as I say, it's actually, as sad as it is, it's such a great reason to make music as well. And if the listeners are aware of it as well, it just hits them even harder. Man, really, really great job on that. So, superb job. I really enjoyed listening to that. I thought the only thing actually I would have liked to have seen from this is the tracks roll into each other a bit more, have a bit of an atmospheric interlude between each track, rather than just a stop and then straight into the next one. I think it would have been nice to keep the vibe all the way through the EP and have it, you know, as just a big kind of one long track, but blending into each other. So at the end of each track, it would have been nice to just have a bit of atmosphere, some sounds, and I know you could have done that. So it's not like it was out of bounds for you, and then moved us into the next track nicely. I think that would have just kind of tied the whole thing together really nice for the listener, so that they just put it on, as it's only an 8.5 minute EP, they can put it on and just listen all the way through with no breaks, and it just flows, you know. I think that would have been nice. So that was my only nitpick on that one. That's it from me today, guys. I hope you've enjoyed this. If you like this stuff, this is the only place you're going to hear it, so get over to their channels and check it out. If you want to do some stuff like this yourself, as I say, you can head over to Apoxlin's channel as well, and rinse out over their tracks that they've got there, and then get in touch and hopefully work together with them as well. I'd like to hear more music like this. This is the only kind of artist that I could name with this kind of stuff, so we need more of them. At least one more would be nice, because that would be 100% more. So yeah, get over there, do some stuff. You could do rap into that. You could do shouting rap into that. You could do just straight up screaming and emo stuff to that as well, as we've heard today, whatever you like. Even spoken word, whatever, it would all be cool, I think. So there's a lot of kind of potential as well with the music for a vocalist to rinse out and do their thing over. There you go. Hope you're having a good week so far. That's it from me. We'll see you around. Cheers. Bye.